Well, thank you very much, John Jacob Kioria. Of course, we are coming to you live from Kisumu County, and Kisumu has been uncharacteristically peaceful or quiet, if you may wish, the entire week, of course, as we head into the next general poll that, of course, will be happening on Tuesday. And I can tell you, John Jacob Kioria, this time round, unlike in the past when we've been up and about, this time round has been largely peaceful in Kisumu, with, of course, a key message to various stakeholders who actually involved in the election being that of ensuring that everyone comes out in large numbers and actually participate in this very critical constitutional right that is voting and deciding who will be the next leader in various positions across from the county level all the way to the national level. But Kiro, I can also tell you or report that there's been security meetings after security meetings, especially from the regional bosses. Of course, this is advised by what had happened in previous elections or post previous elections, and of course, given also what that advisory from the U.S. government, of course, advising their citizens who are actually residing or working in these parts of the country to be very careful as we go towards election. And there's been security after security meetings just to ensure that everything is actually in the right perspective ahead of the next poll. And as I speak to you right now, I can actually report that there's been heightened security along the Nandi, Kisumu, and of course Kericho, Kisumu county borders. This, of course, is advised by periodic skirmishes between the two communities that reside along the borders. And of course, the police officer and of course government spokesman Cyrus Muguna yesterday addressing the media here in Kisumu, indicating that indeed they have actually done everything possible to ensure that there is a heightened security along those borders. And he was very categorical that the security and enhancement in those particular areas is not meant in any way to indicate that there might be flaring of issues or a breakout of violence in those areas as we head into the next poll. However, he says that the government is just taking precaution to ensure that indeed, as we head into the poll, that indeed things are within the acceptable limits of security, so that then Kenyans along those areas can actually participate in the election come Tuesday. He also says that the police officers that have been deployed in those areas are not meant to intimidate or cajole or even coerce anyone into voting in any certain way, but just to ensure that each and every person who is actually residing in those areas is actually doing whatever they are supposed to do in a very peaceful manner. Other than that, Kioria, we have actually seen here in Kisumu County that politicians are continuing to go around the county and of course the region, convincing the locals to actually turn up in large numbers. The clarion call here being that of voting 6-piece. However, we have actually talked to a number of locals who are actually saying that they will decide independently, devoid of what party that a candidate is actually vying on. What they say will be important to them is what the said candidate can actually do for them once they are actually elected. And we're actually looking forward to seeing that happen and actually them coming out and participating in this very critical exercise that is actually deciding who will be their next vote. Of course, Kioria, we will also be moving to Bondo not long from now. We understand that the Kisian-Bondo Road has actually been having a number of repairs, but also critically or important to the listener and viewer is the fact that there's been a lot of excitement around Bondo. Remember, the Azimio presidential candidate Raila Amolo Odinga comes from Bondo, and the constituency and of course his home village has we've actually seen heightened excitement and activities in terms of those who are actually expecting that he will be performing much better than he did in the last or the previous polls. So of course we'll be keeping a keen eye on exactly what will be happening in those areas, so that then we can actually brief our listeners and viewers and also those who are actually following us on online platforms, so that then they can actually be be abreast with actually what is happening from that region. Curia, also here in Kisumu County, the other thing that we've actually witnessed in the past has been the issue of mass movement in terms of when we are getting towards the poll. We've seen people actually moving out of this region, especially those who have just come to actually work and do business from this region to their respective or their homes. But this time round, it's a bit calm, and everyone is actually going about their businesses. Everyone is anticipating that come Tuesday, of course, they will be participating in this poll and ensuring that indeed they cast their vote. But key message from every leader and every person who's actually spoken or actually come out and spoken about this issue of election has been the issue of ensuring that they actually come out and participate in this particular poll. No doubt, John Jacob Curia, we will be on standby to ensure that indeed we give our viewers first-hand information of what will be happening in this region, apart from the fact that, of course, KBC has actually sent reporters across the region in Kisumu and, of course, across the country. Here in Kisumu, my colleague Weekly for Kesh will also be on standby to ensure that indeed those who are actually following us from across the country and want to know what is happening in this region, he will actually be giving them timely updates on what is happening from this region. Back to you, John Jacob Curio.